Good morning, you two. How are you? Where you been? What's going on? Yeah, I'm a little quieter today. The prince and I were on, excuse me, vacation last week. Staycation, if you will. We didn't actually plan to leave this date or anything, but we took some time. So, shall we get into the worst vacation ever? Yes, it really was absolutely the worst. We got zero accomplished and didn't get to do anything that we wanted to do for several different reasons. Shall we count them down? Sure, why not? Let's go ahead. Misery loves company, so we'll share. So, the beginning of the vacation, you know, part of it's coming because you already tell with this. The beginning of the vacation, we had a debacle with a local credit union. I'll make that long story very, very short. We should have had something done that literally most of it was accomplished in 15 minutes, and the debacle took another 5 days for them to finish screwing it up. I hate to say them because it was actually one person in particular that obviously did not know how to do his job, really, and I'm not going to get into much more detail than that because I don't have permission from the prince to get into full detail. If he allows me to, I'll give you the full rant next week. So, you know, if y'all want to hear that, put it in the comments. I'll be happy to post it up. It is a local credit union. One loan officer debacled everything, screwed it up beyond all repair. So we ended up wasting, you know, a good 80% of our vacation sitting around the house waiting for this jerk off to get his job done. Which in the end he screws completely up and screws it all up to where it can't be unscrewed. So that was fun. Then around Wednesday evening, Mama decides she wants to go ahead and come down with some kind of crud that I still have today. It's been almost a week, and I don't know what it is, but it's brutal. Like, I don't get the flu, and I know it's not the flu because I don't feel sick, but I feel like I have the flu. Like, everything on my body hurts. And y'all, when I say everything, man, my hair hurts. I'm not kidding you. My face hurts, my hands hurt, my bones hurt, my muscles hurt. It's miserable. I got a few hours stay kind of here and there where I feel a little bit better. But all in all, I mean, I was down. Wednesday night we went out to eat with my mother-in-law, the Viscountess. And I mean, partially through dinner, I'm ready to die. I'm literally just like, I'm dying over here. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm dying. I made the prince drive home. That's how bad I was. Went home, went straight to bed, handed the phone off to the prince and said, hey man, please just make sure to get up when the alarms go off. Because guess what we have? We have kittens. Yes, we do. So the poll ran. I ran it on Facebook, and this is one of the reasons I did zero vlogging last week at all. And I'm terribly sorry, but man, I was in no position. I'm just going to tell you, I was seriously on said struggle bus the whole time. It was hard enough for me to take care of the kittens. So the poll running, officially it was 6 days. So if anybody put in the comments 6 days and you're local, you get free lunch with me. If you put in 6 days and you're not local, you get bragging rights. Sorry, man. I mean, unless you want to come into Cleveland, and I'll totally take you out to lunch. Totally. We'll do that, but that's up to you. See, I can't make that call for you. So, but 6 days, we end up getting, wow, and let me just tell you, the story behind the first 3, we have 4 kittens right now. We'll go ahead and get into that story, and then we'll finish out the rest because that has a lot to do with our whole debacle of our week that was said vacation. So Tuesday, I get a call, says, hey, you got any room in the end? We got 3 babies we need you to take. And I said, abso-frog-and-lutely. I'll come get them. No problem. So I go pick up these babies. They're all blues, every one of them. Pick them up from Angie. They were at her house. She has them marked because we can't tell them apart. They're that close to each other. I mean, they look identical. So we had pink, blue, and no mark. And for several days, that was their name because I just wasn't able, I'm telling you, because I got sick right directly thereafter. Or whatever this is. So when I go to pick them up, I get the backstory on these kittens. I'm not going to mention any names, but I'll give enough information on what's going on. So, long story short, the kittens themselves were found in a carrier at a gas station next to the gas pumps. Want a little more detail? Sure, we'll give a little more detail. The name was on the carrier. Wasn't a real smart move. Just saying, you know who you are. You know. And you know I know who you are. It's all right, as long as we don't run into each other. Everything will be fine. This person went to another agency trying to drop off these kittens. And I know this because there's video proof of it. It's the only reason I'm saying it. I'm not going to mention any names. I ain't saying any names. I'm not going to say which agency this was because that'll give away just a little too much info. But there's video documentation of said person trying to drop off said kittens, which the agency said, I'm sorry, we can't do that. You need to go to X, Y, and Z, please. We can't do that. Person makes a big scene. Person leaves. I don't know, maybe, ooh, okay, we got a big fat tree limb. We're going to go around this. Nice. Okay, someone going to run into that, and that's going to be a bad day for them. Wow. Anyway, so I don't know. It's 30, 45 minutes, something like that. I don't know what the time strain was in between. Some young lady with a small child walks into same agency, distraught, with said carrier saying, oh my God, I just found these poor little kittens at X, Y, and Z gas station next to the gas pumps. What do I do? Our agency was contacted. We picked them up. The person apparently used their own carrier and their name was on it. That wasn't smart, I'm just going to say. Have no clue where these kittens were actually found. All I can tell you is, at this point, the kittens were actually in pretty good shape, meaning they were clean and they were well fed. Anytime we get kittens like that are very clean and very well fed, most of the time that's what we call kidnapping. And it's not that people are doing this on purpose. They're not. They're trying to do the right thing. They really are. Is they think they found kittens that the mother has abandoned, when indeed mother has not abandoned them. She is probably off hunting or doing whatever because she doesn't get dinner delivered, right? Humans don't feed her, so she's got to figure it out on her own. Mothers will leave their babies 4 to 6 hours at a time. You can tell that the mother's still around by the condition of said kittens. They're usually really clean and usually have nice full bellies. These babies had all of those. So more than likely, these babies were kidnapped. That's neither here nor there at this point. We have them. We don't know where else they came from. We don't know where to look for mom. So now it's my problem. So I take said kittens, right? And we deal with that. We deal with that situation. Angie, thank you for taking them and getting them to me. She's phenomenal. So I think it was Saturday, I get another kitten. McCraken calls me or no, it wasn't McCraken, it was Betty. And she's like, hey girl, you got any room in the inn? I'm like, sure. They send me a video of this beautiful little light Callie with orange, brown, and like black spots. She's gorgeous. She looked to be about the same age of the babies that I have. So I said, sure, she looks like she'll match up. Absolutely, I'll take her. The super nice gentleman, I think the daughter had found this kitten next to a dumpster. Again, this is another story. We'll kind of explain how this goes. This kitten absolutely should have been picked up. Here's why. Only kitten, no one else around. She's in bad shape. She's really dirty. She's super skinny. You can tell very clearly she has not been taken care of by a mother in a bit of time. It's very obvious. You see that, you need to snatch that kitten up. They're in need. They need help, right? You don't need to sit around waiting to see if mama shows up. It's really super apparent. Mama ain't showing up and hasn't shown up for whatever reason. I personally think once I got her, I kind of understood and was able to, let me get on here real quick, evaluate her and such, that more than likely, if there were other kittens, mother just abandoned her, felt that she was a lost cause and just left her. Probably, I'm just saying. So this really sweet gentleman brings me the baby and says, hey, my daughter thinks that she's blind. And I said, well, she's totally not blind. I can see that. And she thinks that she has some kind of neurological issue. And I said, well, why does she think that she has a neurological issue? Well, because her head wobbles. And I said, sweetie, all kids' heads wobble. Like, they don't really have motor skills. They don't have control of their muscles yet, so they all wobble. Well, we took her to the vet, and they dewormed her, said that she needed that. You know, other than that, she's okay. Again, now I'm thinking she's 2 to 3 weeks. Come to find out by the next day, she will not latch. She's not eating. She is really super skinny, very dehydrated. She's actually closer. I go feeling in her mouth to kind of try to figure out how old she is, because she's really tiny. She's tiny like Tux was. She's got her lower anteriors, which means she's not 2 to 3 weeks. It means she's 3 to 4 weeks, which means she was way worse off than I thought she was. She was a solid 182 grams the day that I got her Saturday. She should have been in the 300s at that point. That should tell you where she was. Now, for a 2 to 3 week old, it's underweight, but you know, it's manageable. You kind of get it if it's been a minute since mom took care of him. 3 to 4, that's another story. That's completely another story. Well, this chick just keeps going downhill. And then one of my blues goes downhill, which everybody has names now. So the little calico that brought in, the daughter named her Rosa, so I'm keeping that name Rosa because it's cute. Why not? And I finally came up with some names for the 3 grays. I kind of took a mixture of a poll. I was like, hey, I need some names. Y'all start throwing some stuff out. And I kind of picked and chose from all the names that got thrown out and made my own little mix. So we have 2 girls and a boy in the grays. So we have, I got to think about what their names are. We have Storm, which is a girl, Grayson, which is the boy, and Mercy, which is the other girl. So we have Storm, Grayson, Mercy, and Rosa. So I now have 3 girls, 1 boy. They gang up on the poor thing. The boy is the one that got sick shortly thereafter. So Sunday, I contact one of my foster ups and said, hey, you got any of that Tylosin powder yet? Because I gave her all that I had. She needed it at that point, so I handed it over. And she was like, yeah, actually I do. And I'm like, cool, I really need it. I can come to you. And she's like, no, I can totally come up to you. Don't worry about it. Kids would love to see the babies anyway. Sure, great, appreciate it. Thank you, Maddie, for that Tylosin powder, because she is the one that hooks me up with that. And I'm telling you, it's a complete miracle. If I didn't have that powder, I would have, I could lose babies, basically. I don't understand what it does or how it works, but it does within a couple of days. So we got the kids on Tylosin. I'm still not able to get this baby to latch. Like, Rosa just won't. I've had some really stubborn kittens before, and I'm sorry, I just didn't get any video because I was really sick, you guys. Like, I was sleeping in between feedings and waking up to feed and then going back to sleep again because everything just hurt. I was miserable this entire time. We wanted to go get the grandbaby and take her to the zoo like Thursday or Friday, do something, and then maybe, Papa and I go to Gatlinburg and just kind of hang out for the day. We got to do none of these things. And I'm pretty sure the grandbaby realized it when I got to work Monday, which I was also feeling like crap Monday. I'm really late getting to the office today. I didn't even do Man of America this morning. I bowed out. I had a fever last night, all through the night. I just didn't want to get my crew member sick. Right? Like, this is brutal, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. So, I bowed out, and I'm really late getting into the office, but it is what it is. So, I've never had a baby this difficult to get them to latch, and I couldn't figure out, is she too big to latch? Because she wouldn't latch, she wouldn't lap. She was refusing the milk. I literally was having to feed her dry drop by drop by drop by drop, which is miserable. Let me just tell you something. At 4 o'clock in the morning, when you've got a 15-minute feeding that now takes you 45 minutes, it's miserable, and you're sick on top of it. This is not fun stuff, people, but it has to be done. I mean, what are you going to do? Somehow she was gaining weight. I have no idea. Very slowly, but she was gaining weight. But this nut latching business was becoming a real serious issue. We went from Saturday all the way to Monday afternoon before we were actually able to get a full-on latch. And at this point, I had contacted one of my other foster-ups that had Mama Faith and Baby Hercules and Baby Grace, and said, hey, look it, can I come by and let's just see if Mama Faith will allow her to nurse and see if she actually will nurse, because at this point I'm trying to figure out what is the problem. Can she latch? Can she not latch? Like, there could be something physically wrong with her that didn't enable her to latch properly. And at this point I didn't know what it was. And if that didn't work, I was literally going to take her down to Maddie and go, hey, what do you think? Because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I've never had this happen. Never had that much difficulty. But thankfully around 4 o'clock Monday afternoon, I guess the meds just kicked in long enough. I had her on Marquise Pace and had her on the Tylosin. Tylosin they get twice a day for 3 days. The Marquise Pace she'll get once a day for 3 days. Everybody's on the Tylosin now. Just be on the safe side. She would bite my finger. She was hungry. She wanted to eat. She just couldn't do it. She finally latched Thursday at 4 o'clock, and it literally, I sat there and just ugly cried while she's feeding, because it's so stressful, you guys. You have no idea how stressful this is. It's just, I mean, you feel helpless. You feel like there's nothing you can do, right? It's awful. Grayson also came down with it to where he just started losing weight and started getting, when I say diarrhea, I mean these guys literally were shooting water out their butt. I'm not exaggerating. I mean, water literally shot out their butt. They both pooped on me several times Saturday. Had to give her fluids. Didn't end up having to give him any, but I gave her fluids twice. I think we had to do that. But the Tylosin is working now, so everybody's doing lots better. Everybody's starting to gain weight again. We've got them on their protocol. Their formula is watered down. We're using Pedialyte. And to boot, none of them would take the good milk. They all wanted the crap KMR, which doesn't help matters any, because that stuff in and of itself can tear up their little tummies. So yay. They were just all being difficult. And let me tell you something I know, because I don't buy this stuff. I don't buy KMR. I was complaining about how expensive Breeder's Edge is. I had to get up Sunday, because I ran out, to go get some premix, because they didn't want the powder even. They wanted the premix. And at this point, you give them whatever the hell they'll eat, right? It's just, that's the way it is. They wanted $7.99 for a can this big. Can that big? $7.99. Oh my God. It was 8 ounces. That's way more expensive than the Breeder's Edge. Jesus. Couldn't believe it. Everybody's doing better. Everybody's on the mend. We still have some loose poos, things of that nature, but for the most part, everybody's getting their appetite back. They're starting to regain their weight, because we were just kind of all over the place on the scale. We were up, we were down, we were the same, and we were up, then we were down, then we were down, they were up, and yeah, it was just all over the place. It was a mess. Absolute mess. So, yeah, that was my week of vacation. Yay for me. Not fun. I do have some videos of the babies. I just haven't, I think I've made some short posts on, little dear. I've made some short posts on Facebook. I can probably run some of those together, and we'll make a quick little vlog on the kittens so that we can introduce you guys. I don't really have a hashtag for these. They're just kind of, we just named them, so there's no real hashtag. But we've got the four main crew, or actually 4-girl crew, 1 guy. That's kind of how that goes. But they're doing well. Everybody's on the mend. So, hey, normal time of the program if you haven't done it already. Hit that subscribe button, which I think is over there. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, which is down there, so that you don't miss any videos when I put them out. Sorry, I'm really behind. I realize I'm so behind. I apologize. If you'd like to do any kind of donations to help feed these little babies and keep them in fat piggy bellies, there's a link below to the Amazon wish list. Any donations are greatly appreciated. everything on there I need. There's a couple of things I want. Milk is always a need, just always. Don't care what size container you want to get. I ain't picky. I'll take anything you want to do. If you want to be really sweet and you want to help out monetarily with the vet bills from last year that we're still paying on, there's a GoFundMe account down below. If you leave me your email address, I will send you an action receipt showing that we paid on the care credit. Thanks in advance. All right, so we're 20 minutes. All right, well, y'all had a bunch of really like short vlogs the last 3 times, so you were due for a 20-minute video. Thanks for hanging in this long. I appreciate it. All right, we'll go ahead and end the video. You guys know the rules. Till I see you next time. Stay safe. Stay clean.